Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady and principal owner of Everett Tax Solutions, where we help you win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune in my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. So I haven't talked about PPP in a while, and especially as these convictions come. But when I saw this come across my email, I had to stop and look twice because this gentleman, Arkansas Mo, also known as Maurice Fayne, he's on the Love and Hip Hop reality show. So if you watch that, you know who he is. But he was sentenced to 17 years. And that caught me because I knew that he was eligible for 30 years, okay? But I knew that with the way that the past PPP convictions have been going, for the people that are caught up in millions of dollars, it's been averaging about 3 years per million, right? So 12 years sounded about right. But when I saw 17, that gave me pause because I was thinking, man, they really made an example out of him until I read the rest of the story. So let's talk about it. So I reported, and I even talked about this when it happened, because he was one of the first people who was convicted for, well, I should say indicted. He was one of the first people indicted for PPP fraud. The first people was some dudes out of New England. He was like number 2, I think. Yeah, I'm a geek like that. But he was indicted on PPP fraud, and to the tune of like some $4 million. And so I got my notes over here, y'all. So when he was arrested, the feds, listen, y'all, this is something, I'm just like, my mind is blown right now, like seriously blown. So the federal agents, they seized the following: $617,000 from bank accounts, $136,000 that was used for a down payment on a Rolls Royce, and that was to lease the Rolls Royce. Like, really? Okay. $79,000 was at his house. 8 Kenworth trucks, 6 reefer trailers, a $3,700 diamond ring, a $24,000 diamond bracelet, and a $52,000 Rolex watch is what they seized. And he and what I also found interesting is what he used this money for. Okay, so for those that don't know, PPP money was supposed to be designed to help keep small businesses afloat by providing funds to pay employees during the pandemic. Okay, that was the purpose of the PPP fund. So you had to already have been in business as of like February 15th, 2020 in order to be eligible to receive these funds. So what he did is he applied for a $3.7 million PPP loan, said that he had a trucking company with 100 and something employees, and he had like $1.5 million monthly payroll. Okay, that's just like round numbers, right? But that was not true. And when this story broke, there were a lot of people who are basically saying this, there's no way that this is right. All of this is false, etc., right? This is what we normally do. But he took that money and he paid $40,000 for past due child support, $65,000 in cash withdrawals, $85,000 for custom jewelry, $136,000 for the Rolls Royce to lease it, $230,000 to people who helped him in this Ponzi scheme, and $907,000 to start a new business in Arkansas, as well as $50,000 restitution owed in a previous fraud case. So he didn't get locked up. He's not getting locked up just for the PPP. He's also getting hemmed up for this past fraud case because, see, he had been posing as this trucking business owner, and he defrauded 20 investors out of about $5 million towards his trucking company. And he was saying he was taking this money to fund his business, when in reality, he took that $5 million and transferred it to a casino in Oklahoma to pay off gambling debts and to fund his life. Yes, he was living this life based on defrauded investors. So he didn't use any of this money towards anything. They were saying that his trucking business never even earned enough money to cover the expenses. Okay, so it's not like a trucking company didn't exist, but it was not what he said it was. So when he actually applied for the PPP loan, the bank said, hold up, you need to give us some more information. So he supplied falsified bank statements from a previous bank that had already shut down his account. So he doctored up some bank statements and gave it to the current bank, which then approved this money. So y'all. So that 17 years is not just for the PPP, is for the PPP and the other stuff too, because I can see right now when people, and I thought the same thing, when I saw 17 years, I was thinking, man, they really made an example out of him, but that's not the case at all. He earned these 17 years. And so not only that, he's got 17 years and 6 months, followed by 5 years of supervised release. And he's got to pay restitution of $4,465,865.55 that goes to the victims. And so so you understand what restitution is, that is the legal term for the amount of fraudulent money you gained that you are now paying back to your victims. Now, who knows, this $230,000 to these associates that helped him run this Ponzi scheme. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that squad, right? Like, how many of those associates was it really? But he's got to pay this money back, you guys. He was indicted in June of last year, and then here we are a year later to where he was, he pleaded guilty, and, he worked out a deal to where, like I said, he could have been sentenced to 30 years in prison, but he pleaded guilty, struck a deal, and the prosecutors asked for 12. The judge gave 17, and it was really easy on the surface to believe that he was treated unfairly. No, he broke the law, and not only did he commit fraud once, he did it twice. So it's not like, this was his first rodeo in the fraud scene, right? It just wasn't. So, for all of those who were, who were screaming, that, y'all are just trying to scare people and go and get this money and everything. Listen, the government starts high and work their way down. And for people who, run around here all over social media talking about, let me help you get these 20 bands and all of that. Listen, there's no statute of limitations on fraud. So if they don't get you now, they can get you a couple of years from now. Because like with this trucking company scheme, that was going on from, I think it was like 2013 or something. Yep. March 2013 through May 2020, he was running this Ponzi scheme, and then he got this PPP money to keep the scheme going. So, here we are, it was 2020 when he got caught. So a whole 7 years from when he got started to when he got caught, it is what it is, right? So there's no statute of limitations on fraud. So, that's what it is, you guys. I am, like I said, it was shocking, but I don't see how it's, like I said, how it's really out of the way. He could have gone to jail for 30 years. He got 17. And, quite frankly, I wish his family the best, because I know that has to be hard. Not that that's got anything to do with this case, but the fact is that he had paid back child support, which means that he has children, and his children are going to have to bear the weight of this because the entire world knows who their father is, and and what he's done. And I feel sorry for those kids, right? That's just what it is. Okay. So, but I wanted to share that with you because, there are people out here who are believing that nothing will happen because they stole this money, right? One of the things that the government has, when it comes down to this criminal enforcement, one of the things that they have been really vocal about and very transparent about is that when you're famous, they are really going to put this out there because they want this to be a deterrent before, so people don't go and commit the same crime. We know it's not a deterrent because people still went and did this even after he was indicted. And I don't know if people were just believing that that it just wasn't true, that the government was just trying to, was setting him up and all of this other stuff that I saw on these social media streets. But the fact is that when it comes down to this money, there is always a trail. There is always some kind of trail for money. This is why you have bank secrecy reporting laws and all of that. Because the way that he was dropping this cash, you guys, all of that was being reported, right? If you're $65,000 in cash withdrawals, anything over $10,000 gets reported to the government, right? So they knew. So once that $4 million hit his bank account and he went in and withdrew $20,000, that was reported to the government. Yeah, that's a requirement. So yeah, you guys, money leaves a trail. Okay, I don't care how much you try to use cash and all of that, it's gonna have to come from somewhere, right? So, all right, so I beat a dead horse. So that's it. I hope this gives you something to chew on. For people who may be in the position to where you fraudulently got, PPP money, return the funds before the government gets to you. Okay. Plain and simple. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.